Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from www.tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your astrological reading for March. This is for the Leos. So today I'm going to be doing your reading with the New Age Tarot. I was gifted this deck yesterday and I really have been enjoying it since then, and so I'm going to do the reading with it. And for your spiritual cards, I'm doing something slightly different. I'm going to be pulling cards from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards because they're really good spiritual cards, and I feel like they are very insightful when you have any kind of spiritual issues, dilemmas, things coming up. So I like those cards. And so let's get into the reading. I'm going to be starting off just like I usually do with your finances, then the love cards, then the spiritual cards. So your financial cards, the first one is the Eight of Pentacles with the Three of Swords. Now, what these cards tell me together is that the Eight of Pentacles is like when you're working hard. It's literally like you're making those pentacles, like you're just working really hard. You're having to do repetitive tasks. It could mean that you're doing quite it's almost like with this card, it can represent you trying to perfect your skills, you trying to get better and better, trying to master the skills that you need in order for you to finally become a professional, or move to the next level where you're considered like well trained, well experienced, like that kind of thing. So for some of you guys, it can mean that maybe that's what you're going through in terms of your work. You could be going through a process where maybe you are training, maybe you're trying to prove yourself to get to that next stage or that next level. It can also represent a person that might also, you might be doing either an apprenticeship, or maybe you are maybe even still studying, and maybe that's where you're kind of learning and trying to perfect your skills and practicing and sort of doing the hard work for you to achieve something towards the end. When it's an 8 card, it could be showing that maybe you're actually nearing the end of a qualification or an apprenticeship or something like that. For those of you that are in work, it could mean that maybe the work that you're doing is for you to maybe eventually move up in position, or move from like a more of a training kind of position into like a permanent position, like that kind of thing. What is interesting with this card is that it's quite different to like the Rider-Waite interpretation, or even the fourth deck like interpretation. It's kind of like you can see another person in this deck, and like they are holding hands. So to me, it kind of might be speaking that maybe there's somebody that is sort of in with it with you, maybe going through this experience with you. Maybe you have become maybe quite close to somebody that might be either on your course or at your job or something like that, and maybe they're sort of going through the same process you're going through. So you might have somebody that is a bit of like a companion in that respect, that maybe you can share your experiences with, so you're not going through the whole process alone, which I definitely know that when I've been in that predicament, it can be really nice to feel like you're going through it with somebody else. And being that you're Leo, people are quite drawn to you anyways, because you're really good at shining, and funnily enough, you have the sun also in this card at the top as well. So it's saying that you can reach success with this hard work that you're doing. April might be the time where you may be still working towards it, but when the sun is sort of showing up at the top, it's kind of making me feel like, in the end, you will be successful. And again, the sun rules your sign as well, so it's saying that you're really shining in this situation. The only thing is that when the Three of Swords shows up, is showing, as well as there might be somebody again that might be going through the experience with you, the Three of Swords can represent a sense of, to me, it's a disappointment. It can be, when it's a relationship situation, it can mean like a heartbreak or a feeling of betrayal. So with the Three of Swords, it's kind of saying, you may be working really hard and you may be putting your all into a situation. The Three of Swords can represent that it may not turn out necessarily the way you want it to. There may be a sense of disappointment, maybe because you might be feeling possibly that the work you're doing isn't being recognized the way you want it to. But I kind of get the feeling with this card, it's not that it's not that you're not working hard and that you're not being determined, but I just think that there there could possibly be somebody else that is sort of, I feel like they might be giving you a hard time, like or even what I would say too is, even though it felt like a positive relationship between you and somebody else, it might, the three of swords may also actually be warning you against maybe somebody else. It could be actually saying that maybe somebody else could could be trying to compete alongside you, and they might be trying to sort of stick the knife in, if you get what I'm saying, like trying to help themselves excel, even though you're really trying to help yourself excel. um but then still, when I look at the sun in this situation, it's making me think that even though there might be a disappointment that you experience this month, it's saying don't let it stop you from still working hard, and for still showing them what you're made of. Because I think that somebody might try and put the spanner in the works for you, but it's saying like don't let that phase you. Because I still feel that there might be people around you that are still trying to support you. So this might just be one individual person that is just trying to be difficult, but I still feel that there is sort of people around you that are seeing the work that you're doing, and they know what you're like. um to be entirely honest, and this just came to me now, I'm kind of feeling like the drama or the issue that may come up, it might be somebody that is either um trying to make you look bad or something like that, but then it's saying that what they're doing won't really work, because I feel like, again, you have people that kind of know what you're like and what you're about. So if somebody did try to do that, I almost feel like they the other people wouldn't really believe them, like the other people in your work or your that environment wouldn't believe this other person if they were trying to do something that was sort of taken away from what you're trying to do. um So yeah, those are your finances cards. Now, for those of you that are in relationships, you have the High Priestess with the Chariot. The High Priestess, for me, can represent it can represent kind of feelings, emotions. It sort of goes through cycles, because the high priestess is sort of connected with she has a connection with the moon cycle too. And so it's like things can, it's sort of like it goes through a process with the high priestess. So it can mean feelings changes, in emotions kind of changing, because as you can see, it's like she is very connected with the water, as you can see there. And you know, the tide, it goes up and down, up and down. So things can change with the high priestess. Emotions can change, the way you feel within yourself can change. And both of these cards together are two signs that are very connected with that kind of water energy, because the chariot is ruled by Cancer, and the high priestess is ruled by Pisces. So, or the moon. No, it's the moon. It's ruled by, I believe. I think Pisces. I think the moon card is connected with Pisces, but the High Priestess is connected with the moon. So, but Cancer is also connected with the moon. So, this is talking a lot about the moon and the emotions, and. But the only thing is, the moon is very interesting, because the moon, it can mean sort of being maybe in touch more with your feminine side. So for you as a woman, you might find that this month you're actually more emotional. um in general. For a man, you might actually be more emotional than you're used to. And so again, it's like where as a Leo, you're more about that sun energy, where you exude a lot of your energy out. It could be saying that, you know, April is a month where you draw that energy actually back in. And so you might be actually more reflective than you usually are. You might actually be connecting more deeply with people on a sort of a more emotional level than you usually do. And so that might be a big change for you, because that's not your usual kind of energy that you have about you. um Again, this is more of like a Cancer water sign type of energy. But the with the Chariot, I feel like it's saying that the reason why this is happening for you is because there are some things that you have to get through emotionally. Like you have to almost get through some kind of emotional um barriers that you might be facing in a relationship. But I feel that this is a really good energy for you, because it's almost like the you and somebody else will connect on a level that you probably haven't connected before, or probably haven't connected in this way for a very long time. And it's very necessary for you, because when the Chariot comes through, it's almost like you're using that emotional connection to drive you forward and to drive you to a point of victory. And it's not easy getting to that point, but it's like it's necessary for you to really experience, maybe even love on a deeper level. um and it's almost like when, and if there's been any difficulties in a relationship, this sort of emotional connection will push the relationship forward. So there's some kind of movement where maybe things may have been stagnant before. There's more of a movement that could be taking place. Even though your relationship cards, I believe, were quite good last month as well, it's saying this month is carrying a different kind of energy, but this energy is still positive. But I really feel that there, for some of you guys, there might actually be even some tears that, are kind of shed, because this is very emotional, like highly emotional cards. But again, I don't feel like it's going to be negative tears. I feel like it's almost going to be like healing tears, like tears that you have to release to just, it could be happy tears, like that you just have to kind of, it has to come out. Maybe because it hasn't come out for a long time and it just needed to, like it was just the right moment. So yeah, I like these cards for you, because I feel like if for a relationship, it would be really positive. Let me see if I can get a bit more light coming through. Okay. I have to sort out the lighting. Okay, so um for those of you that are single, you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Two of Wands. And the Queen of Pentacles, to me, when she kind of shows up, like for a single person, it's saying that you are about the financial side of things, or you're looking for the comforts in life. So this might be a time where you're just sort of like, I can't really focus on the relationship right now, because there's some things I want to do in terms of my career, in terms of my work. Maybe I have my own business, but there's some kind of endeavor where you're just like, what, I have to think about more about myself and my own stability. And I feel like this month that's what you're really creating. You're gonna have a creative energy about you that you're gonna be putting into making money. And I think that that's gonna be your main focus, is just stability. And then with the Two of Wands is saying that you're looking for the next stage of in things. So if this is a project that you've just started, a work situation that you've just moved into, it's like you're looking for the next stage, you're looking for the next level. And because of that, it may take a lot of work, because the Queen of Pentacles can also represent obviously the work that you put into creating the material things that you want. And she's the kind of queen that she won't be afraid to get her hands dirty. Like the other queens will be a bit like, mm-mm. But the Queen of Pentacles will be right in there. And so I feel like that's what you're going to be like. You're really going to throw yourself into your creative endeavors, into the things that you really want to bring about. And to me, the Two of Wands, because this card, the interpretations are different in these cards, I almost feel a sense of celebration in terms of the work that you're doing. So it might be that, again, things might be in the early stages, but you're able to sort of move things to the next stage, in yeah, you're able to move things to the next stage, and so there can be a celebration in terms of that as well. So yeah, those are your cards. Now when I look at your spiritual cards, we have the Forgiveness card with the Miracles card, and I like both of them. The Forgiveness card is saying, it has a very clear message. It's connected to the crown chakra. And to me, the crown chakra is about a higher connection. It's our higher spiritual connection. And it's almost like the crown chakra is that chakra that, when we're fully connected to it, we're not so caring about the things about the little material things in the world. It's like we can see the higher purpose, the higher meaning behind things, and because of that, we can almost like be the bigger person in a situation. So where forgiveness comes in, it's saying that you might actually be the bigger person this month, because again, because some of the cards that were coming through were really emotional kind of cards. It could mean that maybe you're feeling more sympathetic towards other people this month, and maybe that's why you're able to forgive people. Maybe you're just able to just let go of some things because you just have a better understanding of maybe where that person is coming from. And so therefore you and this other person can sort of reconnect with each other and sort of lay things down to rest. And so, so therefore there's no drama between you two anymore. So that's a really positive thing. And it's saying that, miracles may actually come about as a result of healing a situation with somebody else. Or maybe this is just a time where things can really come through for you that maybe you didn't even expect. So and that card is connected with the solar plexus. So to me, it's kind of saying that things are on the horizon for you, because the miracles card is always sort of a positive omen. Wherever I do a reading with this deck and it shows up, it's saying that something that you've been wanting is gonna come through for you. But again, because it's showing up with the forgiveness card, it's almost saying that maybe even for you guys, maybe for you to even forgive this person in a way was a miracle. Maybe like this, maybe somebody that you've not spoken to for such a long time, and then maybe just circumstances happen out of the blue that lead you to forgiving this person, or maybe this person even reaches out to you, and contacts you in order to sort of lay things down to rest, kind of thing. But it's almost saying that something is going to come through with you forgiving this other person that is going to work out in your favor. So that's really positive. So I'll see you guys. Bye.